It's Take That and Greatest Day on BBC Radio Leeds. Good morning, this is Richard. And at the risk of making myself sound like a high-fibre breakfast cereal, we're all about starting your day the right way here on BBC Radio Leeds. And you will be hard-pushed to meet a more inspiring man today, this weekend, maybe this week, than the one who is sat in front of me now. You may recognise the name Alan Clayton. He's from Leeds, and we have spoken to him on the show before. At the start of the year, Alan decided to climb the equivalent height of Mount Everest by scaling peaks around Britain. Alan, good morning.
Morning, how are you?
I am all right, thank you. I think what I need to do is get you to give us a little bit of background as to why what you've done is particularly impressive. Tell us what happened to you when you were 17.
17, yeah. I broke my neck in a car accident where I broke vertebrae C4, 5 and 6. And I was given a 5% chance of being able to use my limbs again and a 20% chance if I had the operations. And I had 2 major operations to rebuild my neck. And I spent 8 months in rehab.
To come from that to sitting here now at the weekend, you're up the top of Ben Nevis. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm thrilled, to be honest. Feeling very proud. But kind of ready to go again, which sounds a bit...
Behave yourself. Why did you do it?
I fell really badly into depression after my accident without actually knowing. There was no kind of support for me. It was never offered or anything. And I just met my girlfriend, and she lives at the bottom of Rosebery Top, and I kept looking at this. And if you were to draw a mountain, that's what you draw it. And I kept driving towards it every weekend and thinking, I want to climb that. And on the 28th of December, I managed it, only just. I know it passed out when I got to the top. But then I just thought, do you know what? I got something from that. I love that. And I got told I'd be back in a wheelchair at 40 by the doctors. And I thought, I'm not going to see these views after this. So I want to do something. And then, honestly, a couple of days later, maps were out. We drew up this. I came up with the idea. Maps were out, drew it up. And on the 28th of January, we started.
Just put into context what you've done, because I think just in a sentence saying Alan decided to climb the equivalent height of Mount Everest doesn't do it justice. Sort of just talk about the logistics of it.
Well, everything was against us because based from the east this year with the weather, like I said, the reward for me was the views, and I didn't get them because I was coming down on a lot of them, coming down a bit disheartened because I was getting to the top and I was doing it in storms and all sorts of stuff. And then the amount of people that were interested in the messages I was getting from people that saying that they were struggling as well, and I've done something, I'm inspired. And all of a sudden these groups of people just joining me, and that became my reward. And then we've took on the biggest peaks in the UK.
And not only that, and you keep using the word we, because I know, and there's a video, by the way, if you want to see Alan, at BBC Leeds on Twitter, or search for BBC Radio Leeds on Facebook, because you're really keen to stress that this was a team effort, aren't you?
I keep getting all the praise, and I couldn't have done it without these people. My girlfriend, if I did 29,890 foot altogether, so I just beat it. Just shy of 30,000, and I think we walked 135 miles. She must have done double that, talking to other people and going back to see if I'm okay. So my girlfriend Gemma, and just friends. One friend called Lyle. He was my guide really. He didn't leave my side. All my friends were taking the mick out and calling him my security guard because he's on those photos just stood at the side. So he's been, but all of them been unbelievable. It's not just them two, all of them. And I had a session on social media last night or the night before, just trying to thank people in general.
I'm going to have to pull you up on some, Alan. You've got something wrong there.
Oh, my fiancée.
Yeah, you've called Gemma your girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to it.
Tell us what's gone on there then.
I decided to pop the question. I like to put a bit of pressure on myself, so not only climbing the ice mountain, I thought I'd pop the question when we get to the top as well.
Right, how did that go?
I couldn't get down on one knee, so I was a bit disappointed because I got up there and it was just snow and the ground was too bad, and my legs had gone. Because it was close I've come to saying I can't do something because Ben Nevis, and I got up there and I was like, the guy who was taking the picture, I spoke to him a bit wrongly because I was I can only use one hand, and I'd opened the ring in my pocket and I planned it, and kind of went, will you marry me? She looked down at the ring, looked back up at me, looked back down at the ring. So I said, will you marry me? And then looked back and then grabbed it off me, and a big celebration. Quite tearful.
I would have been absolutely nervous that I would have dropped that ring at some point between the foot of Ben Nevis and the peak
I didn't carry it up.
Right.
Because Gem's always in my bag, helping me out if I'm getting any food or anything. So one of my friends, Darren, he's been on I think he's missed 6 out of the whole 8 months. I trust him with everything. And I was like, Daz, can you be trusted with that, please?
You mentioned at the start of the interview, you mad crazy fool, that you're ready to go again. Just finally, what have you got some plan, something cooking up in scheming in that head of yours?
Yeah. Well, we decided to keep Everish going because it's built up like a little community, bringing people together, inspiring people. So the climbing the Everish bit is over. Everest, sorry, that's over. But Everish is continuing, so I'm looking if I can get some kind of a sponsor to do maybe a bike ride. So I need a trike to do a bike ride next year. But we're going to keep it going. I want to do Scarfell Pike. I want to go abseiling, and just generally go out for walks. Nothing like too mad like Ben Nevis. I don't want to step foot on that mountain again. But to invite people to come along with us, like if you're struggling with a little bit, come along. There's people been there that have got the same thing. I'm studying counselling, so I'm really big on the mental health and it does, when you get these views and you're going out, it does something to you, and I just urge people to come and join us with it.
I'm glad you've come in, Alan. I won't try and make out we've been with you every step of the way. That would be ridiculous. But we spoke to you just before, we spoke to you in the middle, and we've spoke to you now. So I'm pleased we've been a little part of your journey.
You've been brilliant, thank you.
And I think we've started Friday really well with having you on. So best of luck.
Thank you.
Get yourself onto Twitter at BBC Leeds. Get yourself onto Facebook, BBC Radio Leeds. See Alan in action. He's marvellous.